Hello there, people. How are you tonight? It is, just going to fix this camera a little bit. It is Tuesday, June 13th, and this is Facebook Live. 2018, we are going to talk about the new moon in Gemini. And this is a super moon, so that means that it's more intense than a normal new moon. Now, new moons usually mean new beginnings. New moons are a clearing of the old energy and starting new energy. And if one of you could just tell me out there everything's going good, that would be great because it's showing up blurry on my screen. So new moons are usually... 2018, we are going to talk about the new moon in Gemini. So new moons are usually new beginnings and usually an ending or a culmination of some things. And most new moons, that happens in a cycle every month, every 28 days or so. But this new moon is actually a super moon, which means the energy is intensified. And there's a couple of aspects that are making this moon actually even more intense, which we're going to talk about tonight. Hi, Janine. Hi, Dawn. First of all, this new moon is the end of a cycle and a new beginning, as all new moons are. But this particular new moon is the end of a lunar cycle. And it's, hi Liz, hi Diane, and it's a lunar cycle that we began back in the beginning of the year. So if you think back to what was going on then and whatever conflicts or new beginnings you had in your life then, things that were coming to a head or starting fresh, that energy is the energy that's culminating right now. And I'm just going to prop up my notes a little bit so I don't have to keep looking down. It's a lot of things to remember, so I always write myself notes when I do research on the energy and I go into the portal. So it's the last moon in a lunar cycle. And what this is it's culminating the energy that started out, hi Jackie, it started out in the beginning of the year, and it's bringing in the energy that's going to be following us now in the eclipse season. Our next full moon is on an eclipse, which I'm going to be doing an amazing event, which I'm going to tell you all about towards the middle or end of this video. So you want to be aware of your thoughts because this is endings to major things. This is endings to things that have been going on in your life for the last 6 months or so. It's also could be the ending of a lot of karmic patterns because we have another aspect that is the south node of the moon is transiting right now. And I'll get to that in a minute. But this is a clearing and a starting fresh. And sometimes these clearings can be painful. It's the ending of many things in our life that culminated, like I said, in the last 6 months, or could be a 3-year pattern that's culminating now. And as we clear these things, sometimes we have pain or we have loss, but keep the faith because I'm telling you, there's some amazing energy coming in, and the eclipses are going to bring us some new energy, new perceptions, and new way of doing things. And I'm going to tell you about that energy as well tonight. So the best thing to do in this energy for now is to think about and tap into an awareness of your inner thoughts, because this energy, especially in this new moon, is about clearing blockages. It's actually going to bring those blockages to the surface and to our conscious minds so that we become more aware of them and want to clear them. And this is a process where you're going to see a lot of people and a lot of people saying things on social media and just in general, both globally and in your personal life, where people are going to start saying, I'm not doing this anymore. This is a new day for me. Out with the old and in with the new, because our paradigms are changing. Our perceptions are changing. The way we always loved, the way we always desired things, we're coming into completely new perspectives. And that's because of some things that are going on planetarily and also in the collective. You see a lot of things, especially on social media, all of a sudden people writing a lot of things and long posts, and they're writing about anything from galactic energy and what their downloads are to angelic channelings to all kinds of energy, and they're all interpreting it and putting things out as messages for the collective. And that's beautiful and it's amazing. But what I just want to put out here in this video is I may give you my perspective. It may not be your perspective. So read what all of us in the light worker world are saying and take in what our messages are and then interpret them for yourself. Because galactic energy may not resonate with you. Astrology may not resonate with you. But whatever does resonate with you, that's your key. So don't take what one person says as gospel because they're experiencing pain in their body and interpreting it a certain way, or they're interpreting dream sequences as a certain way. Doesn't mean that's accurate. What I say about astrology is my interpretation of it. It doesn't mean that's the be-all, end-all Bible of astrology. If you go on YouTube and listen to 10 astrologers, you're going to get 10 different aspects of the stars. What I do is I go into the energy when I look at a chart. I do it mainly for my own energy and so that I know how best to use my life. Hi, Kathleen. Hi, Jackie. And in that interpretation, I find my divine purpose and the best use of my time and energy. When I read someone's chart, I use that as one type of divination for me to read about their soul contract, their life purpose, and messages that I may get from the other side. That work is the culmination of years and years of studying and searching and seeking and finally understanding what my puzzle pieces were and what the things are that bring me to the intuitive psychic connection. So I just wanted to put that out there because we're in a very heightened time. Part of that is because of the way the south nodes are aspecting right now, but it's also the way that this particular new moon is coming in. It's actually opposite the galactic center. The galactic center is a place in the universal chart of 26 degrees Sagittarius. And the galactic center is actually the center of the universe. It's where all cosmic and all divine energy accumulates. This particular new moon is exactly at 22 degrees of Gemini, opposing the galactic center. What does that mean? In layman's terms, it means if you meditate, if you go out in nature, if you connect or you do a ritual, it is going to be super powerful. It's very easy to connect and get psychic messages in this energy. And for the next 3 days, it will be like that. This is an aspect that opens portals. So be very careful if you do ritual and you don't know the proper way to do them. You could call in energy that may be extremely intense for you. This is a psychic time. Trust your intuition. This is a time of new beginnings. It's a time when you can really manifest by using this beautiful portal of the galactic center. And so that makes this new moon all the more super. So be aware of your thoughts. And as such, when you read things online or you listen to gurus online and YouTube, etc., take what they're saying and let it process. Let it come into the crown of your head and just kind of permeate your body. And ask yourself, how do I feel with this energy? Does this resonate with me? Does this make sense? Or is this not my message? Because there's a lot of people out there saying things as though because they have felt them, this is the way it is. It may be for them, but it may not be for me or you. It may be for me. It may be for you. But it may not align with what your particular openness is. So all I can say is in this new moon particularly, and as we are in this beautiful energy of connection, heightened connection over the next few days, be really aware of your thoughts and use this beautiful heightened connection to really tap into your intuition. Where do I want my life to be? Who do I want my life to be with, etc. Because as this new moon in Gemini brings up, and the south node of the moon aspecting brings up, it's going to be things coming up from your subconscious to your conscious so that you can remove any blockages. And these may be even blockages that you've had in past lives. Hi, Liz. I see you. Liz is saying that her meditations have been super intense. That's this energy right now. Hi, Gina. Hi, Patricia. So anybody who is able to connect is going to connect more deeply. Anyone who's been trying to meditate and trying to connect to source and get psychic messages, you're going to be able to do that much more easily in this energy as the moon opposes the galactic center. So I wanted to say that this is an energy of letting go of the past and whatever does not serve you. That is the energy of all new moons, but this one's super. Super moons are when the moon is actually in a position, and most sailors know this, the moon is a little bit further away from the earth, and that is meaning its gravitational pull is stronger. So what happens is the tides get higher, our perception gets higher, and our emotions also run a little bit high. So I want to talk about the aspects, particularly with this new moon, and how they're going to affect us in general. Wherever you have Gemini in your chart, in your sign, that will be where you are most affected. If you don't know how to read that, you can go on astro.com or cafeastrology.com, and you can actually get a free birth chart. And if you ever have any questions or anything about your birth chart, send it to me, or give me through Messenger, or just, post here on one of these videos, or just, reach out to me and ask me, hey, my moon is in this house. What does it mean? I'll be glad to help you. I truly believe in evolutionary astrology. As I said, astrology is just one path that I use as divination. When I do readings, I look at someone's birth chart. I also go into the energy psychically. It's very usual for me to be able to go into psychic energy before someone actually comes to see me. Before the appointment, I'll go into the energy and see what that feels like, and in order to get a read. Sometimes their past loved ones will come in before they even arrive at my home or wherever I'm seeing them. So that's years of really developing that psychic ability. And I truly believe, as all of you know who watch my videos and read my blog, that anyone can do that. So this is not a gift that I just have. It's a gift that I had opening myself through the divination of astrology, psychic, spiritual, yoga. Yoga is huge. If you want to become more psychic, if you want to be able to tap into universal energy, get on the mat, because that is really what opens all of us. So I use astrology as evolutionary astrology. And what that means is that I look at points in the chart for two reasons. Number one, to see what are the lessons in this lifetime for you, your soul contracts, and moving forward, what is supposed to be your divine purpose and what are your divine challenges. I look at that energy, and then I look at the aspects, the transit planets, right? We have a chart that's fixed, and then the planets go around it all the time. The planets are moving, right? So those aspects give me energy that I know how to work with. And that's what astrologers do. Evolutionary astrology is the study of astrology used for our own evolution and soul growth, and to go into the best place we can with our higher selves. So let's get into this super new moon. So I told you a little bit about it already and why it's so heightened, because of where we are, and the moon's opposing the galactic center. The south node is coming into play. There's a couple of other things too. Mars is a big one in this also. But Gemini, new moon, Gemini is an air sign. Gemini is communication. Gemini is, hi Julie, Gemini is trying new things. Gemini is adventure. Gemini is words, spoken and written. So if you want to write, start the book, now is the time. Right in this pocket of time, the next 4 weeks. Gemini is being adventurous and using language. So this can go either way, because we have some aspects to Mars. So what I'm also going to caution you all about is be careful of your words, because this is also energy where words can wound. If that is your experience and that happens either to you or you cause that, I am a firm believer that those things happen to bring things to the surface so they can be healed and cleared. So don't stay in the wounds, move on from them and find out what you're supposed to clear from them. Usually when you have an outburst of energy like that, it's usually supposed to happen because you're supposed to move the energy and you haven't been. That's why we keep things bottled up. This is a great time, this new moon, if you're going to email someone something you needed to do for a long time, if you need to speak and find your voice and have a discussion with someone. This is a great new moon to do it, because more than likely their reaction might be a little bit more fair. You might have some unexpected pushback in the beginning, and there may be some outburst or an argument, but then it will come to the point where that person will see the other side and be more fair. I'm just trying to move my notes here. I'm sorry, I'm looking down. This is an emotional new moon. It's sitting right in aspect to Mercury, which I'm not going to go into the aspects too much because I know most of you don't follow that. But Mercury comes into play with this new moon and makes it very emotional. But it also makes it a good time to seek resolutions and communicate, because your value is going to come out a lot in this. If you speak in Gemini energy, it's usually very mental. It's usually easier to find your words, even though you can be scattered. That's why I suggest writing them instead of speaking. But in this energy, and for the next few days, and some of you may have even had this starting to happen like over the weekend, this is energy where you just need to express. You got to get it out. You're going to say what you need to say, and you're going to say it. It's just, you need to express. It needs to come forward. Those blockages that have been hidden for so long are going to come out. Okay? Odette just said that happened today. That's the energy. That's the energy. Just know it will get easier, and this is happening to bring things to a reconciliation. Also, this can bring out stubbornness in some people, just so you know, because Mars is still in Aquarius, and that sometimes is a very fixed energy. But what I want to say is this particular energy that we're in, and the energy that I'm describing, where people need to express and things need to come out, and we actually have a clearing, and it can come out in physical form. Our body is a messenger, so if you have some illness or some, especially sinus problems right now, I know it's allergy season, but upper respiratory and things like that, it's because you are clearing energy, really clearing energy. If you find yourself having hot flashes a lot, many times that also, because of these aspects, is psychic energy coming in. So just, you want to breathe and go with that. But there's a square between Mars and Uranus. And what that's going to do is really elevate our consciousness and our conversations to equality. And that's why it's a good time to approach subjects maybe you wouldn't in the past, and do things in a different way, and really go out there and try and find your voice and express yourself, especially with families of origin, in love relationships. It's all going to come together. It's going to be a little bumpy, but then it comes together. Okay, and also this energy that I'm describing is going to happen until October 1st. We're going to be in this energy. And this is basically, the energy of wanting to express, the energy of clearing a lot of things. So bear with it and go with it. And the best advice I can give you is to really observe your feelings and your emotions so that you can express them and interpret them in a healthy way. Because this can be energy where we wound with our words. So that's why I say sometimes write the email or write the letter and hold it for a day or 24 hours before you send it, and then you'll know if it's the right thing that you want to do or not. Also, Mars is still in Aquarius, so I would say this is also very likely energy for cyber attacks, computer viruses, not backing up your data. No, back up your data. Definitely make sure your virus protection is up to date, because those kind of things happen in Mars and Aquarius. You will find that your computer will crash, things will happen. The other thing that I wanted to talk about is that the degrees. And when I look in a chart, I look at where the planets are, obviously, as all traditional astrologers do, but numbers are very significant for me. I know they are for many of you as well. Hi, Julie. Numbers for me are extremely significant. When I first started to open psychically, I assigned numbers to certain things. And what do I mean by that? I mean that you might have a number that is significant to you because maybe it's your mom's birthday and she's passed on, and that becomes a number to you that's significant. That's because you assigned it that significance. Hi, Elaine. So early on in my psychic readings, one of the things that I did was assign numbers for interpretation, And this is a tip I'm going to give all of you who are, looking for psychic development classes. And this is something that a lot of classes don't teach you, but I'm going to give you this. And I'm doing it because this energy is so psychically heightened. So those of you who are working to develop, here's a great tip for you. We often, when we're in the beginning stages of trying to get messages or receive messages, we often try to interpret the message. And what you really want to do is think of that in the opposite direction. Instead of thinking, oh, what does this mean? What does this mean? Assign it a meaning for you. For instance, I have twin niece and nephew, okay? And so I, in my work with Spirit, said, Spirit, whenever you show me those two children, I know it has something to do with twins. So you're developing your own dictionary. So you can do that with numbers. Like if your mom's birth date is a certain day, like the number 27 is extremely significant to me, because that was my mother's birthday, 1/27, January 27th. So many times during a reading, the number 27 will come up. And then I'll say, is this person's mother coming through? And it is, because that's my significator for a mother. So yours are going to be different. Everyone's are different. We all have a psychic dictionary, is what it becomes. So that's the way you learn to read psychically, is you create your dictionary. You don't go to a source and say, okay, give me what this means. You create what that means, and then they give you the message. So, and also just, hi, Dawn Marie. So also just so you know, also, I don't like to say I do readings because I don't read, I receive. And I wish that it became popular for us to say, I'm going to do a receiving because I receive the message. I don't read it. All right. So that's just a little something. Anyway, so the reason why I went into that is because this particular new moon is exactly at 22 degrees and 44 minutes of Gemini. And those of you who study numbers or are into numerology, I hope Lois Martin is watching, because she's a famous numerologist in our area. And worldwide, I think, too. I love you, Lois. But 22 minutes and 44 degrees Gemini. 44 is an angelic number. 44 usually means angels are around you, near you, angelic energy is around you. And 22 is the master number of the builder. That is extremely significant for this new moon. We have an energy in Gemini and with other planets aspecting where we're clearing out old things. These are really major endings in our life to go into a new beginning. And we have the significant numbers of angelic energy and the builder, the master builder, in the numerology. If that isn't a message, I don't know what is. So use this energy for the best possible use you can use it for. And take some time also to go into the collective. And when I say collective energy, I mean the energy of the people collectively in the world. That energy is the portal, and you will feel it. And like Liz said before, that her meditations are so intense. Probably the reason why those meditations are so intense is because she's also tapping into the collective of everyone else who is going into that energy, and it becomes amplified. And that's why in this energy, although it can be an energy of using words to wound and clearing things out in a harsh way, we don't want to do that, because then that energy gets put out into the collective and it makes the universe more angry. It's a ripple effect. So I implore you in this energy, as you're clearing things out and things are rising to the surface, go within, really think about your energy that you want to create in your life and what your thoughts are, and become rational. Gemini is very rational mental energy, so use that. The other thing that is heightening this energy even more, as though there wasn't enough heightened energy, is Uranus is sextiling Mercury. Mercury is our thoughts, and Uranus is sudden and unexpected change. When you put those together, you're going to have insights and flashes of intuition. You're going to have tremendous downloads. Angels want us to pray for us and help, Dawn Marie just said. That's absolutely, absolutely right. The angelic energy has been amazing, and I have a story to tell about that in a few minutes. But wherever 22 degrees of anything falls in your chart, that's probably a new beginning for you. Wherever 22 Gemini falls in your heart, your chart is a new beginning for you. So you can go on astro.com and get a free chart, or Astrology Cafe and get a free chart in. You need to know your birth date and year, your time, and the city where you were born, and you can get that chart. So look at where 22 degrees of anything, if you have any planets in 22 degrees, but especially look where 22 Gemini falls in your chart. For instance, in my chart, that falls in the 7th house. 7th house is relationships. So I know something's going to happen in a new beginning with a relationship. And synchronistically enough, I happen to be renewing some familial relationships. So that's really beautiful. I met someone last night that was an amazing person. I just felt their energy so much, and I knew that that would come. So we are receptors in this energy. So we want to be receptive to the right energy. And all the more reason why, I'm sorry, that was my angel aura. All the more reason in this energy why you want to stay in the love and use the energy and the things that come up and put love there. Give yourself that beautiful hug. Give to yourself what you give away to others in this energy as you're transitioning, as you're transforming what no longer serves you. Give yourself that beautiful heartfelt love, the love that you maybe have missed from a loved one or maybe didn't get in your childhood. Give that to yourself, because you are the receptor in this energy and you want to receive that. If you go into anger too much, or you don't clear anger, or you don't express what you need to express, then you become the receptor of negative. And that is going to just ripple out into your life. So go for those new beginnings, wherever those are in your chart. And also write. Tomorrow the new moon comes in at 3:43 p.m. So this evening would be a good evening to go out and look at things in your chart. Look at things in your yard and, contemplate on the moon energy and the stars if they're out. I don't know if it's clear tonight. I wanted to do this video outside, and then it got too dark too quickly. I think that is it for my notes. This is the dark side of the moon tonight because the new moon comes in. So, it's not a great time to... it's not the time to start something new. You want to wait until the new moon comes in for that, but you can set your intentions. Also, again, be careful what you're saying. And Venus goes into Leo June 20th, which is in a few days. And that's going to be a beautiful, playful energy. As soon as the sun goes into Leo, the sun goes into Cancer, which is June 20th, I think, and Venus goes into Leo, you're going to have such a heartwarming, beautiful, loving, heart-based energy. You're going to want to nestle at home and be with loved ones and family, and that beautiful Leo heart's going to come out. So if you have any conflicts in this week due to some of this clearing and new moons bringing endings, don't dwell on it. Know that there's lighter energy coming in soon. So this is about closure, cleaning up. The next month is going to be pretty much about that, and new coming in. And this is going to stay with us for about 4 weeks because, of course, new moon, and then the full moon comes in a couple of weeks, and then you have another new moon. Also, that energy I was just talking about that happens around the 20th, where the sun goes into Cancer and Venus goes into Leo, that is also going to be emotional energy. You're going to be very heartfelt in that energy. That's an energy where you may find people declaring their love for you and things like that. It may also be, for some people, a time where you get infatuated and you meet someone and it's a real intense infatuation, but it may not last. Hi, Katerina. So that's about all I had for my notes. If anybody has any questions, they can write them in the comments and I will answer them for you live right here on Facebook. And so in the beginning of the video, I promised to tell you about a really exciting event that I'm going to be doing. So as I said, numbers are important to me, and I picked a certain date and then found out that it was a full moon, and it is actually a full moon and an eclipse evening of July 27th. And I'm going to be doing a psychic night on the water. We're going to be on a boat at out of Captree, the fishtail, and we are going to do a cruise, a psychic cruise. I'm going to be doing readings for anyone who comes on the boat. I'm going to be posting about that and some flyers. So if you'd like an evening at sea under the full moon, a psychic evening at sea, we would love to have you on this beautiful event. It is actually my debut doing a gallery-style psychic reading. And I'm a little bit nervous about it, but not so much because I know I have spirit and Buddha and all kinds of beautiful energy that will come through. And I can't wait. The last time we did a cruise similar to this was a Reiki cruise on the Great South Bay under the full moon. And the energy was so intense that it was one of the most significant nights of my life. So I returned to that place under the stars, and I hope we have beautiful weather. And I hope you'll all join me and share that when I post it, probably by tomorrow evening. So that's July 27th. And if all goes well, I will probably be doing those every month or so on the full moon if we can get out on the water on that beautiful boat. So that will probably fill up fast. We can only fit about 50 people. So get your reservations in early, and I'll be posting about that. And my intention is to have guests if this really becomes something. I know it's seasonal, but as we do it, probably into maybe October or November, if I can have some light workers come on board and we can do some meditations and things, I think this would be like phenomenal events to do. So, and I have the access to the charter boat because that is my partner in life. So we are combining our careers to do that. So does anyone have any Thank you, Elaine. Thank you, Dawn. I'm sending love to everybody. Does anybody have any questions or comments about this full moon? Oh, Julie's going to be there. Great. I would love to have you on that. And Nikki, hello. Nikki, how are you? So you can always play these videos back. They are not just live. I save them onto the Facebook page. And what I would love for you guys to do is like it, share it, help me build an audience. I really want to get my message out for anyone that it resonates with. And I truly believe that astrology as a tool is a great way to go into the energy of your life and really tap into Spirit's message for you. It's all there in your chart. And someday I will tell you the stories of the synchronicity that has happened from my own birth chart that I can't believe. So Dawn mentioned before about angels, and I just want to tell you, she is so on the money with that for me. That resonates really for me, and the angelic energy is just overwhelming these last couple of weeks. And I actually opened opened. I'd love to have you, Dawn. And I've actually opened up to angelic energy now. Again, I kind of had veered off a little bit. You know, I always think of the spiritual journey as this huge super highway with like 10 lanes. And it's almost like the buffet of life, you know, where you have one lane is tarot cards and the other lane is astrology. And then you have mediumship. And then you have all these different types of divinations that everyone can use to open into their life and their higher self. So I first opened with angels because I say this all the time. Angels were a safe portal for me because I grew up in the Catholic faith. My mother was extremely religious, taught me the rosary at like 4 years old, which has always been a comfort to me in my life. And I love ritual because of that Catholic faith, and I still often go to Mass and receive communion. So, and just love that energy. So for me, when I was in my darkest time, angelic energy was the energy that came through for me. And it was not only a safe energy, but it was an energy that was just so beautiful and so comforting and made me feel like I wasn't alone. And what I did in the beginning, when I first learned to meditate, I had a hard time because I was really in a not so great place in my life. And there was racing thoughts all the time and there's so many things happening and so many challenges in my life. So angels would come and comfort me. And I learned to meditate. And I always cry when I tell this, but I actually learned to meditate. At the time I was studying angels. I studied angels for years. I'm like an angelologist. And I actually used to have all my angels come and they would form a circle, you know, and they would all be facing outward in this circle and their wings would be spread so that the inside of the circle was all their wings together. And I would hop on their wings and that's where I would meditate. I would just lay in a circle of angels and meditate on angel wings. And that was how I taught myself to meditate. So, hey, you know what? For those of you who aren't into organized religion, the Catholic Church gave me my angels. So, gotta love that. So lately, the angelic energy has come through, and I kind of veered off that in the last couple of years because I've been doing mediumship, and I've been going into other forms of energy, and even, visited some galactic energy at one time with a group, and felt that, and the Palladians, and I always see that as rainbow. And so, all of a sudden the angels came back to me and I went back to the very first deck of cards that I ever got in my life for readings and connections, and it was an angel cards, and they're beautiful, beautiful cards, and that's actually my first foray into angels. I see Dawn reads angel cards and she teaches that too. And that was really how I first connected. So the reason why I'm telling this long story, and I'm sorry if I'm taking up a lot of time, is because whatever resonates with you, that's what you're supposed to use. So Spirit recently brought me back to my roots, back to my angels, and it's just opened me up like tenfold. So I don't think that's weird. I think that's just the way it's supposed to be. And you will find as on your journey, there will be things that's just the way it's supposed to be. I also want to just say one more thing before I close. Couple of things. First of all, I use crystals a lot also because they generate. For a while, I had to kind of not use my crystals because the energy was so overwhelming for me because I tapped in too much. But if you're trying to meditate, especially if you use angelic energy, angel auras are so beautiful to connect with angelic energy. And also if you're trying to release things, if you're trying to bring things up to your consciousness, clear quartz is so beautifully soothing for that, and also clarity, brings you a lot of clarity. And then of course, because Saint Germain is my main guide and I work with the violet flame and violet energy all the time, I always use amethysts, and so that will be a clearing crystal for you too. So the other thing that I wanted to say is sometimes when I play these video backs, I always watch myself because I want to improve and deliver my message better. The last couple of videos I felt were a little scattered. I truly believe that's because we have a lot of Gemini energy, and Gemini energy scatters me. It's a very distracting energy. So I think I'll get a little more focused on the next few videos as the sun moves out of Gemini. But the other thing I notice is I look to my right a lot or into my left a lot. And that is because as I'm doing these messages, I'm getting messages from Spirit and downloads of what they want me to say in the direction they wanted me to go in. Literally, sometimes I turn on this camera and I have no idea what's going to come out of my mouth. Put the camera on and blah, 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 there it goes. Because they're giving it to me. So sometimes when I look to the side, it's because I'm tapping in like this. I'm tapping into what they're showing me. So I didn't want you guys to think I was like looking at someone off camera or, something was going on. But that's why sometimes you'll see me look to the side because I'm interpreting energy in that moment. So have a great evening. Please go out and do some kind of a new moon ritual. It's a great time to write down your things that you want to manifest and all of your desires and intentions. This energy is so intense. Let me tell you, if you have a couple of endings, just go with them because there's something better happening. Just trust that. So set your intentions, write down what you want to do. It's a beautiful time for that. We're going to be in this particular energy that is now the contact point and initiator as the moon is opposed to the galactic center, as we're in 22 degrees and 44 minutes of Gemini. I love that number. As we're in that energy, this is the best time for manifesting. It is the beginning of the next 6 months of energy as we go into eclipse season. So whatever you're trying to manifest or whatever your intention is, set it in this energy and stroke it and nurture it and water it and plant it and give it fertilizer for the next 6 months, and you will see so many things will happen in your life. Thank you so much. I look forward to seeing you on our beautiful psychic cruise on the Great South Bay under a full moon on July 27th. Sweet dreams to you, all dreams sweet. I guarantee dreams will be active tonight. So go to bed early, all right? I love every one of you. Together, we can heal the world. Thank you so much. I'll see all you all soon. GeorgiaRoseConnection.com.